Hex, depending on how long this takes. I am playing a control deck here, and Hex, one of the things I like about Hex is that their ladder is best of 3. I really dislike best of 1 ladder matches. It's really kind of crappy in my opinion. My opponent's champion do target troop you control gets Death Cry, draw a card. Yeah, that seems fine. It's a little slow, but it's probably fine. So this resource here is actually a good example of Hex's digital mechanics. Hey, Speed, welcome back, bud. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. So this resource is actually a good example of Hex's digital mechanics that are nice ways to reduce variance that card games have. So when I play this resource, I get to choose between Seek Fortune and Seek Adventure. And Seek Fortune lets me stack another resource on top of my deck. So, you know, a control deck's biggest nightmare is I kept 2 resources on the play and I bricked on my 3rd resource and I died. With this ice in my hand, I get to guarantee that I'm going to hit my 3rd resource this game. And there is not an Exalted Commander in this deck. And my ice found another ice, and I think I want to just keep guaranteeing resource drops here. So I'm playing a control deck, so usually want to hit like my first 5 to 6 resource drops most games. If you want to learn a little bit more about Hex, you can check out, I have an article here that kind of talks about some Hex things in terms of Magic context explicitly. So I'm glad I Fate Wove resources aggressively early, because this card's actually a card that can disrupt Fate Weaving. So this says when it deals damage to a champion, bury the top card of their deck, which flips it over. And if they bury a resource, that way they get to steal it. So I hit a non-slow resource, so I can play a 3-drop this turn. The question is, do I want to hold up Weave into nothing to interrupt one of their cards, or do I want to play a Heart's Whisper to draw 2? I think I want to just Heart's Whisper here. I'm going to go ahead and play this out. And Heart's Whisper lets me Fate Weave and then draw 2 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and Fate Weave a resource to the top and then pick up 2. Yeah, SP Epic is really good. Once they get to a release, I'm excited to see where their game goes. Yeah, it definitely feels strange coming from a Magic background, the Epic combat. So they buried the top card of my deck, and because it wasn't a resource, my opponent didn't get to steal it. ZX Judgment. So this card uses the Verdict mechanic twice, and Verdict's a Punisher mechanic that makes me pick between 2 different things. So I can either give my opponent a Phantom or give them a Nightfall. Nightfall is the thing that drains me. Phantom's a 1/1 troop, so I'm just going to give them a troop. Just going to give them another 1/1 troop. And the best way I can describe Epic's combat system is, imagine if every creature in Magic had banding and you attacked with your creatures one at a time inside of combat. It's the best way I could describe it, which is it sounds really strange, right? Like, imagine if every creature in Magic had banding when it was attacking, and you attacked with creatures individually. So you could, like, attack with 2 creatures that are banded together, and then, like, see if your opponent flashes anything in or responds, and then decide if you're attacking with the next ones. Yeah, Artifact should be really sweet. Artifact is definitely, when I don't try every digital card game, but Artifact's definitely one I'm going to be interested to kick the tires on. If you've played Hex before, but it's been a little while, while cards didn't rotate with set 9, some of the gems and the customizable cards changed. So my Dark Hearts now cost 5, and they can't be targeted by opposing cards with 2 or less. And I can pay 1 and discard a card to return Dark Heart to my hand. So if we play it on 6, it's got some built-in protection. That's nice. Have more Phantoms, opponent. Have more Phantoms, opponent. That's kind of scary. So when this dies, they get to steal a card out of my hand. I think I'm just playing this to buffer my health total. So Silver Solid Adjudicator says, when it comes into play, if an opponent has more health than us, we get to gain 5 health, and if they have more cards in hand than us, we get to draw 2 cards. So unfortunately, we're not going to get to draw cards with this, but I do get to gain some health, and I'll be able to block these spirits pretty effectively. We really want to, we're looking to draw a copy of our card, Aldurthan's Glory, which is a 5/5 troop for 5 that when it comes into play, it voids every troop on the battlefield with defense 3 or less. Fly me reinforcements. That's a good way to say it. Fly me reinforcements. It draws cards too, though. So, like, as a control player, it's like just better than timely, right? Because I get to draw cards. Wait, what just happened? Destroy target troop, trigger the death cries of each troop usual. That's gross. So they killed my bird, and then they triggered the death cry on this, so they were able to steal a card out of my hand. So their removal spell triggered their death cry effect on here, which is very bad for us. So they got to take a card. What card did they take out of my hand? Does anyone remember what card I had in my hand that they took? They have Weave. Okay, that's good to know. That's really bad for us, right? Although I guess I have Runebind to counter the Weave, so it's not too terrible. I'm going to start by drawing a card with my champion power to see if we hit Aldurthan's Glory. Because if we hit Glory, we just play that and wipe the board. All right, and then I'm going to Guidance to see if I can hit a Glory. Well, we don't really know what Hex's standard format is right now. So Hex just had a set release. What was it? A few, not particularly long ago. So like we don't have a great grasp on like what's good, what's bad, and otherwise right now. Going on, Drex. Yeah, just close it down with a little bit of Hex. My first time playing against Mono Blood since coming back. Although this doesn't look like traditional Mono Blood because they've got like Cabalist and Dream's End in their deck. Hawkward Turn is going to be really good. So this reverts and transforms any card into a 2/2 Hawk. Honestly, maybe I should have left this up because I want to turn this into a Hawk probably. Well, our opponent does have a Weave into nothing that they stole out of our hand too, so we do have to play around a counterspell here, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Succubus or not. Okay. So can I please draw one of our 3 Aldurthan's Glory to punish them here? Clash of Steel. That's pretty punishing. So this, each player chooses one card they have in play and voids everything else. So they're going to pick their Cabalist almost certainly, but this is going to stabilize the board very, very well for us. And then I'm going to get to Hawkward Turn their Cabalist, so they're going to just be left with a 2/2 Hawk here. I really like the mana system in Hex. I think, honestly, one of the reasons why Magic really struggles while translating to a digital media is because its resource system just isn't designed to be played in a digital game. It really isn't. So the fact that like Hex has a resource system with color identities similar to Magic, but doesn't have the restrictions that you have with Magic, some of the Magic restrictions is really reasonable. Maybe I should have just held that drop of Wax to make my Dark Heart better, because discarding cards does protect my Dark Heart. Arena looks great, right? So you know they have a Weave. They have a whole fistful of cards here, so definitely still anyone's game. Opponent has missed a few resource drops, though. That's good for us. Maybe I should have put another resource on top of my deck last turn. Although I guess I can use Heart's Whisper to Fate Weave for some more shards. Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs to holding and playing the drop there. I agree. I do have Ka. I have 2 copies of Ka at my top end. This deals damage to an opposing champion. Put a random troop with Deathcry or Blightbark with its name into your hand. Your discard pile. Put a random troop with Deathcry or Blightbark from your crypt. They don't have any of those, right? No Deathcry, no Blightbark. Sure, so that's just a 3/2. I'm just going to use this as a gain 3, I think. This is a gain 3. Still wouldn't mind drawing an Aldurthan's Glory. Really want to draw an Aldurthan's Glory. Silver Talon Adjudicator. So I could Runebind this and then play Adjudicator to draw 2 cards. I think that's worthwhile. The problem is I want the Runebind to tag their stuff later. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Heart's Whisper here and see what we get. I think I'm gonna stack a resource. We could have hit resource plus glory there. I think I'm just playing this Adjudicator to stem the bleeding here a little bit. This will gain me 5 and it'll let me trade with their 3/2. This is an owl deck. We have a bird right here. The Silver Talon Adjudicator. Darkheart not looking particularly good against I'm gonna Runebind their Thought Collector in response here, so that way they don't get the Deathcry trigger on it. What's going on, Rollins? Yeah, we played a Modern League to start the day, and then I closed out with some Hex here. More resources kind of sucks. I guess I get to play this out for a non-resource. And then I get to play the Silver Talon Adjudicator to draw 2 cards and gain 5 health, so that's pretty good. We're flooding a little bit here. So my Runebind card, you see it kind of took my opponent's troop and slid it off to the side over here. This is a mysterious rune card, so my opponent's card stays kind of in this stasis state off to the side until they draw a resource or have a resource enter their hand. Yeah, I'm gonna let you make my troop smaller. I'm gonna let you make my troop smaller. Yeah, I think so. So they just like killed my board and drew a card. So again, we're back, and we're back to, can we draw an Aldurthan's Glory, please? Can we draw an Aldurthan's? Even Aldurthan's Glory is not really going to do it from this board state, though, right? Because we know my opponent has a weave into nothing that they stole out of our hand earlier. Yeah, it's going to continue flooding. Get to put Darkheart out here, which I assume is going to get met by a weave into nothing. This doesn't get met by a weave. It stabilizes the board a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense. That doesn't surprise me to hit by a weave there. I'm gonna use this Diamond Dice to Fate Weave a non-resource to the top of my deck. And then we'll get the draw step of this plus the champ power next turn to draw another card. So maybe we're not just dead. Opponent's hitting us for 7. If they have another Plague and Famine, we're actually just dead, right? Not that they know that. They don't know that we have 3 bricks in our hand, but unfortunately we do. Oh, it's unique. Oh, it's named. Okay, sure. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Right, that's not going to be enough. Power says awkward turn. Yeah, it's not going to do it. So in Hex, when cards transform, they're not a new instance of a thing, so even if I Hawkward turn something there, it's still going to be able to attack, so I'm going to take at least 4 on that combat step there. We have a Confounding Ires, interrupt target blood card, sounds pretty good. Clash of Steel seems fine. Eternal Seeker seems fine. This is probably... So I have Doombringer Ka splash at the top end of my curve, but I think that I probably don't want this card against a blood deck, right? Darkheart seems pretty bad, too. I feel like I'd rather just have Psychic Ascensions. Runebind's kind of medium in this matchup as well. I'll leave one Doombringer Ka in. Seems fine. What's going on, Jor? Howdy, howdy. Yeah, we're just closing out with some Hex today. I've been poking back at the format again since they released their new set. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of Sunlit. Hey, thanks for the bits, bud. I appreciate that. I'm not a huge fan of Sunlit against all their Deathcry troops as part of the problem. I think we have enough void removal between like the Grasps and the Hawkward and the Clashes and the Glories. Like, we'd have just been like in such a better... Like, we got through 20 cards in our deck without finding an Earthen's Glory that game, right? Which is like kind of an anomaly. Yeah, we're basically Sapphire Diamond Control splashing Doombringer Ka at the top end of our curve. It seems fine, Entropy. I don't know, like, it's really hard to get, like, a good thoughts or opinion or, like, an accurate feeling because, like, having played Hex in previous seasons, I know, like the deck my opponent's playing against is probably one of the first, like, semi-real decks that I've played against this season. So, like, you really don't start encountering, unlike games like Hearthstone and some of the other games with their reward systems, in Hex, the ladder is kind of a way to reward the players rather than, like, rank them based on skill. So you generally don't start seeing people that are playing, like, real, like, tiered decks in terms of, like, the competitive sense until you get into, like, Platinum and Cosmic. And you can see from my plinth here, I'm only Gold. We got paired up to someone in Platinum, so that kind of explains why their deck's a little bit more powerful. So we'll Fate Weave a third resource to the top of our deck there. So the thing about Blazing Glory, Jotra, is that the goal of the deck that I'm playing right now is to be Sapphire, Diamond, Splash, Ruby. I only have 7 sources of Ruby in my deck. And if you're trying to play a card that, if you're trying to play a Ruby card early in the game, you need to play more Ruby sources in your deck so you're able to hit those Ruby sources early. In this deck, I only have 2 Ruby cards, and I never need to play them before turn 7, which gives me a ton of time to be able to actually find the things that I'm looking for, right? Remnant of Purpose. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Heart's Whisper here, try and guarantee my 5 shard drop so I can curve out to this Earthen's Glory. Hello, Tiny Monster. Yes, yeah, the roots made Runebind's power much weaker, which is why I only have 2 copies of Runebind in my main deck. Taking a pretty big beating here. Y'all broke the tent. Drop resources, gain 3 here, which is nice. We can interrupt something that's not a troop. Hopefully they just go like shard, play Kabbalist, and we're just like untap Glory, get you. Gonna use this candlekin to gain 3 here. You want a bar?
Yes. Oh, I got a Chinese.
Here you go. Enjoy. Enjoy your lunch. Zedek's Judgment. So that I'm gonna go ahead and weave into nothing here. I don't want to risk them drawing extra cards or getting constants. Yeah, I agree, Trax. I think Diamond Sapphire Control has good tools, and I think splashing a powerful finisher like Ka is mostly free. Yeah, hopefully we can dodge Hero Fall here. I think I'm pretty obligated to just slam it, though. You want games or YouTube? You want games? Alright, sweet. Dream's End is much better than Hero Fall for us. Much better than Hero Fall. I get to Heart's Whisper and find another resource next turn, and even if it's a slow shard, we get to hold up Confounding Ire. I would be very surprised if there's not a good combo-esque deck in Sapphire Wild. It's unfortunate that Sapphire Wild doesn't have a remnant to fix its resources, but it's still pretty powerful. Like the you have the Arcane Soil combo, and then like Sugar Rush, I think the card is called, seems reasonable. Elwyn's does need a sword. Have a sword. Swords for Sapphire Shards. Thanks for the bits, Trex. Do I care about this? I don't think so. Am I willing to glory and just kill this? X-Bit Bomb! Thank you for the cheer, bud. Non-slow shard. So I really wanted to draw a non-slow shard there so I could hold Confounding Ire up this turn. I'm gonna put another resource on top of my deck. I think I was gonna go ahead and Silver Talon Adjudicator here. Just like gain my 5 stabilize. Like I just have so many cards in my hand that like I'm probably never gonna draw cards from this Adjudicator this game. So just stabilizing the board is what I want to do here. Yeah, I don't think I want to glorious it. This just like hip checks the Promiscuous Succubus. This could potentially encourage my opponent to play out more troops so my glory can get more value next turn. Like if they want to attack and trade here, I'm fine with that. Yeah, take your card draw, that's fine. You have more than enough tools to run you into the ground, I think. Night Bloom. It's 3-1 and trigger its Death Cries. Don't think I want that to happen. It's still gonna trade, but I don't really want them to put a Carnal Demon trigger on this. So like if that happens, they get oh, that's really bad for us. That's exceedingly bad for us. I should have just done this, I guess. So now they get to put Carnal. So now this is gonna draw a card, and then the Carnal Demon's gonna make another Carnal Demon. So now we're in a bad spot. I need a Hawkward turn. I know there's a resource on top of my deck because that's what I stacked last turn. Clash of Steel's not terrible. Or I guess I'm starting with this, right? Let's see what I draw. This puts all my prismatic cards back in my deck and draws me a card. Oh, this is terrible for us. I guess I'm just gonna play this out as a gain a bunch here. It's basically a gain 11. Get to block here and take 3. I feel like I mismanaged my resources a little bit this game. Allowed them to get in underneath us. Gonna get this in now because they play another troop out. I probably just want to glory them. Again, looking for Hawkward turn, looking for more cantrips. That's pretty good. Huh. All right. In, I guess. I'm gonna hold on to Clash. I guess I could use Clash as a game 3 here. Nah, I'm just gonna pass. If I take 9, I go to 6, which is a little scary. Because, like, I have to tap out for this next turn. It might not even be good enough. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to take this off the table. I'm gonna use this and see what I get here before I commit to playing the Psychic Ascension. Hawkward turn, deal. Ding. Alright, so we'll get to Hawkward turn this, which means we take 5 next turn down to 10, and the next turn I can play Aldurthan's Glory and clear the board while holding Weavin still up. So the goal here again is to like stabilize while not giving them a turn to stick more stuff while I'm stabilizing. Is also playing more things that allows my Psychic Ascension to tick down, which is good for us. This card's really good. I think you're right. Maybe this is our first match, but like there should probably be 4 Hawkward turns in my 75. I don't know if I want all 4 of them in the main deck, but I definitely think there should be 4 in my 75. This card is very powerful. Another Carnal Demon. Stop it. Please stop it. Deck some non-resources on top of my deck here. That's great for us. Get to fucking windmill this one. Get in there. Glory to the Hypnotoad. Get out of here. Get gone. I almost feel like I should have 4 of this in my 75. It seems really well positioned. It's like so many tiny troops right now. Very, very powerful. I wonder if this will be a concession PA. This is definitely the part of the game where it's over, so they can decide how long they're going to play for, but the game is done now. So if you've never seen Hex before, what Psychic Ascension does is it changes my champion into a new champion, where for 1 charge or 1 hero point or whatever you want to call it, it creates an action for me, and every time I play an action, I generate a random troop with the same cost as that action. So it's a self-enabling finisher, basically. What does this do? Flight Invincible 5/5 deal. I think this makes Silver Talon Adjudicator, right? Are there any other Sapphire Diamond 4-drops that are troops? Mordrum's Gift targeting Promiscuous Succubus. I don't care about that because I'm just gonna Aldurthan's Glory and get rid of it, right? There's a Frost form. Okay. Alright, so they haven't packed it in yet. This Glory will hopefully be the nail in the coffin. Get out of here, Hawkward turn 2. We could assimilate it. That I'd rather not show them assimilate. I don't think I want to change anything. They haven't showed us any quick speed removal. Is Doombringer Cog good? Probably not. I guess it voids stuff, right? Void target opposing card. It's probably not good enough. I'm just gonna leave the 1 in. I think maybe it's better than Eternal Seeker. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it in over the Eternal Seeker. Does it? What does Cosmic Calling make? What is it? I'm so excited. Glimmer Goose. God bless. Yeah, you're right. I did see that one. It doesn't have to be good. Anything is better than nothing. Anything is better than the stone nothing cosmic calling made previously. Notification is annoying me. Does the PlayStation build still have a reserving bug? Or did they fix that? Yeah, I updated the Blood Ruby mid-range deck that I worked on last season, the Candlelight deck that I top 8 at a bash with. I need to play that at some point. I have to be done at noon because Jake's bus will be here like always, but I might come back after I feed the kids lunch and play a couple of matches with the Blood Ruby deck. This hand's great. So we only have one resource, but Guidance gets us a second resource, and Glimmer Fox gets us resources 3 and 4. I really think this card's pretty good. Just get a resource on a 1/1. Morning, Nazer. I will have to discard something to hand size, so we're gonna lose the Wax Sacrament creation. I guess I could drop to not lose the Wax Sacrament creation. Is that worth it? No, I'm gonna do this. No, I am traveling to Cincinnati to play in the Team Open this weekend with a couple of buddies. Yeah, the Glimmer Fox are included in the 7 Ruby resources. 10 out of 10 included. 10 out of 10 included. I have four Ruby Sapphire Remnants, and I have 3 Glimmer Foxes. Hey, Debug, thanks for the bits. I appreciate that. Thanks everyone for hanging out. If you're a Magic player that stuck through, X is fun. You should check it out. It's free to play if you want to get into. You can also buy cards on the secondary market in it too. If you're into Hex and you do buy cards, there's that scrolling banner up above my head there, Hex Primal, code Jeff5 will get you 5% off. So consider using that. It does support my content here. All right, so this is gonna make a Sapphire. Do I want to just like play this and make a thing though? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play this and make a thing. Let's use my resources. Thought Collector. Because Hex is a TCG, it's just like Magic. Everyone that drafts has piles of bulk. So. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and Glimmer Fox here again. I'm gonna set myself up to just I'm gonna grab a Ruby here, which might be greedy. I'm gonna Fate Weave another resource to the top of my deck. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the turn. If they play another threat out, I'm probably still just gonna Aldurthan's Glory on 5 if they play another threat. Like, I don't really care. If they have a Dream's End here and get to double trigger this Thought Collector, that's pretty good for them. Honestly, now that they burned their champion power, I might just Aldurthan's Glory anyways. They have a Night's Bloom. That's really gross. Well, they took the shard off the top of our deck. They have another Knight's Bloom? I think they have another one. That would be really gross. I need to move my assets from my Linux streaming stuff over to my Windows side. I forgot to upload my Hex card frame to my Dropbox, so I don't have that currently. Wait, what do we got here, opponent? What are we doing? We got to disconnect. All right. I think this is going to be my only match here this morning with this deck. I don't want to run the risk of being late for Jake's bus, so win or lose, we're gonna wrap it up after this one. And then I'll get the kids fed and get a couple of things done, and then I'll probably be back maybe 1 o'clock or so. I think I want to get packed before I go live again. I am still sponsored by X Primal. Got the code up there. Is still scrolling. Down to 18 here. Thankfully, this deck usually has plenty of health to throw around. It kind of sucks that they stole the shard off the top of our deck, because I was kind of hoping on that tip might double make your troops bigger deal. I will sacrifice a troop. Yeah, I don't know how much Hex content I'm going to be able to get back into, but my goal is to play it at least a few hours a week on stream again. So, we'll be back. The magic is definitely it's exploded enough to be considered basically a job, which is kind of awesome. So I need to make sure that I do, 30 hours a week or so of magic stuff is my goal for that. I'm gonna go ahead and smack them with these two. Get that out of there. They did get to trigger the death cries on that once, but not getting to do it again is good for us. The guidance does mean that I'm going to be able to hopefully hit another sapphire here. And if not, Doombringer Ka is only one of each, so this will get us a 6th resource, and this is a 7th resource, so we'll be able to work our way up into her. Yeah, definitely. Succubus. If they play a second thing, I'll slam the other glory. Great, so let's guidance to start here, see what we find. If we really want to find a sapphire, so we can have this weave up. If we can have a weave up this turn, we're going to be in. It's great. That does 2 points of damage. Oh, it doesn't do any damage to us, right? Because it's their 4th? Sweet. That's excellent. God, those resources are so good. I really wish we had all 10 remnants. Really kind of sad that we don't. We have the deck list on screen like we used to. Yeah, I think Tom, Professor Yana, updated it for the new set. I need to get the data from him. What's going on, engineer? Doom's End. Yeah, I don't really... Well, I guess... I need to just counter this, right? Because if they have a Night Blossom or whatever, I'm going to be really sad. If they have a Night Blossom, I'm going to be super sad. I'm going to stack a resource on top of my deck because I think my hand has all the cards it needs right now. They took my Remnant of Innovation. That's great. It deals 2 damage to them. Deal. Getcha. Yeah, I mean all 10 printed. I have my cards. I have plenty of plat. I'll get the cards that I need to actually play, but I just mean in general I wish I had all 10 printed. Bring the doom.
Yeah.
All right, what am I doing? I don't even know, chat. Oh, this is lethal, right? I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but kill you is probably a good line. Oh, yeah. That card's a good finisher. That's a good piece of top end. Got some big old ender booty in there. All right, I'm gonna put a. I just had so many choices, and then I realized, oh wait, one of our choices is killing the opponent. That's probably the one worth making. I don't think I want another Hawkward turn in the main, but I'm gonna put one in the board before I forget. I don't know what I want to cut. Do I need 2 Psychic Ascensions? I probably don't. This Doombringer card's kind of great. And the fact that, like, the champion here puts the prismatic cards back into our deck, like, that's so great. So, like, we can just shuffle Doombringers and back in. So, I'm gonna save this for now. I'm signing off, folks. I'll be back probably hour and a half. I'm gonna play a little bit of Blood Ruby this afternoon. I think maybe we'll just play more of this. I don't know. We're gonna play something kind of mid-rangey. I might try this deck because I really like this kind of grindy deck. A P-Fan Hunter with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. I'll catch all y'all around later, and peace, folks. Thanks for watching.